So yeah, so like I said, sanded down the bottom of a door, sanded down the sides of a door. I've added towel rods, towel rings, cutlery rods for in the kitchen to hang, stuff on. Um, Done a lot of little things, and I think my biggest inspiration that was from my grandfather on my mother's side, Paul McGill. It was a great grumpy old man. Had amazing stories, but also wanted you to be quiet most of the time. It was great. But I used to hang out with him as a kid. All these little things that he needed done around his house, he just did. Like he had a light in the middle of of his bathroom at one place that it was a pull chain, and and you had to walk all the way into the bathroom and pull the chain. It was a pretty good sized bathroom too. But I remember, like, at some point he rigged it so, like, if this was it, like, let's say this is the door you're walking in. He rigged it so that the string went across the ceiling and then, like, through an eye screw, and then hung down and had a nut hanging on the end of it to give it some weight, so that when you walked into the bathroom, it was just right there where a light switch should be, and you just click click. So it was just little things like that. He just always fixed things and tinkered with things, and I used to hang out with him in his workshop. He's the one who taught me how to use a power drill. I made this little block of wood and put some, holes in it, and made a pencil holder, with his supervision, and showed me how to work a vise. And just, Paul was just such an inspiration, and it's kind of amazing how, when I was a kid and hanging out with him, it's just interesting, like, it's just interesting to me because as a kid, I was just hanging out with my grandfather. Um, and like I said, he wasn't always, like, he wasn't a warm grandfather. The quote that we repeat of his the most was "be peaceful," and that wasn't meant like, "Oh, I want peace in the world." It was his kind way of saying "shut up." If there was too much noise going on in the house, he'd just be like, "Be peaceful," meaning be quiet. Um, but it's amazing how, when I used to hang out with him, he was teaching me all these things, and I didn't even realize that I was learning them. And the tiny little parts of my personality now that come out. I see a tiny problem. I see a door hitting the wall, and instead of just saying, "Oh, that door is going to do damage to the wall," no, I get a door stop. I fix the problem. It's such a tiny little problem, but Paul taught me to fix it. He taught me to fix the problem. Granted, he probably would have just gotten a big chunk of cardboard and then duct taped it to the wall instead. But the point is, he kind of instilled in me this this understanding and this belief in myself that I can do things, and that I can something needs done, you just do it. It's like Paul kind of inspired me that, like, figure things out, learn the skills that you need, teach yourself, and fix things or build things. He was always building things and making things out in his little shop, and he just really inspired me. And like I said, it kind of became part of who I am without me even realizing it. I'll be eternally grateful for the time that I got to spend with him. So yeah, I didn't expect this video to kind of take that route. So you've seen my workspace. That's the room that, the art studio, where the bookshelves are, and where the power saw, where the table saw is. that's where I'm going to be working. I gotta, as you saw, there's a lot of work to be done before I can actually get in there, and I'm going to spend this week working on that, getting kind of all those boxes moved to one side so that I can then build a craft table and a workstation, and then eventually build an extension table around the work saw and have an outfeed table. Table saw. Yeah, so that's where we are. Again, I know I missed a week. We've already had 4 house guests we had 4 house guests within the first 2 weeks of living here, which we love, and we've got 2 more coming up this month. We love entertaining. We love having people over. So yeah, if you want to come up to New York, hang out with us, hang out with Takawee. Just let me know. We'd love to have you, and maybe you can be a little guest on a bunch of crafts sometime. And if you live in New York, you don't even have to spend the night here. You can just come hang out. Though we do have a really nice guest bedroom. It's probably the most set up room in the house now, again, because we had so many guests. I didn't record a video last week. I put out a video last week. That's the one about the French press coffee maker. How to clean a French press coffee maker. But I didn't record one, and I'm really kicking myself because, for me, the whole point was to hold myself accountable to filming. Again, the more I film, the more likely I am to get that room cleaned up downstairs and to get to actually making stuff people want to see. I need to get good content out there. But personally, for me, I need to create content every week to make it a habit. So anyway, thanks for hanging with me if you're still here after all that rambling. Yeah, we're gonna have a good time here, right, Tuck? You just don't care about anything.